Scripture to consider before the news. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. That he will be the Prince of the Covenant, that will start the final prophetic week for Israel spoken of by Daniel the prophet. We here at the Watchman Report see that Prince as being Prince Mohammed bin Salman because he has the number of the beast to the number of his name using gematria with the prime cipher and as of the 6 kings in Revelation chapter 17. MBS is close friends with the Crown Prince of the UAE, and in today's report we will cover MBZ, a Gulf tool of the Vatican's Jesuit power structure which has already met with the Jesuit Pope recently. The Vatican in the last days will flip on Jesus not being the Christ as Islam teaches. For Muslims, Jesus is just a prophet. Watch out for when MBS will start to make moves with Israel. Then you will see this come to pass as it is written by Isaiah the prophet. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. That we as Israel, and the agreement will be the covenant confirmation by the Prince of the Covenant. Watch. Now unto the news. UAE, Jordan ready to facilitate Israel-Palestinian peace efforts. The United Arab Emirates stands ready to facilitate peace efforts between Israel and the Palestinians, the de facto ruler of the Gulf state said in remarks carried on state media on Sunday. Abu Dhabi Crown Prince Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan made the comments in a telephone call with Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, whose country, with U.S. support, brokered a ceasefire on Friday that ended the fiercest fighting in years between Israel and Islamist militant group Hamas. The UAE, which last year normalized ties with Israel, is ready to work with all parties to maintain the ceasefire and explore new paths to reduce escalation and achieve peace, state news agency WAM cited Sheikh Mohammed as saying. The Crown Prince stressed however the need for additional efforts, especially by Israeli and Palestinian leaders. Last year's normalization deals signed by the UAE and Bahrain, followed by Sudan and Morocco, were denounced by the Palestinians as abandoning a unified position under which Arab states would make peace only under a two-state solution, negotiations for which have been deadlocked for years. The UAE, which distrusts political Islamist groups like Hamas, has said the Abraham Accords would ultimately benefit the Palestinians. UAE Ambassador to Washington Yusuf al-Otaiba said last month that the establishment of formal channels under the Accords would allow the Gulf state to play a similar diplomatic role in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict to Egypt and Jordan, which have peace deals with Israel. Egypt and Qatar, which has ties with Hamas, led regional efforts for the ceasefire that ended 11 days of fighting in which aerial bombardment of Gaza killed 232 Palestinians and rocket attacks killed 12 people in Israel. Jordan's Jesuit-educated King Abdullah stressed on Sunday the importance of translating the Gaza ceasefire into an extended truce, and said there is no alternative to a two-state solution between Israel and the Palestinians. King Abdullah called for stepping up Arab and international efforts to translate the ceasefire into an extended truce to push for a political solution that fulfills the legitimate rights of Palestinians, the royal court wrote on Twitter. King Abdullah said Jordan puts all its diplomatic relations and capabilities at the service of the Palestinian cause, state news agency Petra reported. The king also said, there is no alternative to a two-state solution to achieve just and comprehensive peace, Petra added. In related news, Blinken. Two-state solution is the only way. Scripture to consider. I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations, and parted my land. God's land of Israel will be parted as it is written by the prophet Joel, and it is looking to be parted by this two-state solution with Palestine. Back to the news. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken on Sunday reaffirmed U.S. support for a two-state solution. Speaking to ABC and quoted by AFP, Blinken asserted that the two-state solution is the only way to provide hope to Israelis and Palestinian Arabs that they can live, with equal measures of security, of peace and dignity. Blinken's support for a two-state solution restates a longtime U.S. goal, though he conceded that this was not necessarily for today. Past efforts under the Obama administration to broker a peace agreement failed in 2014 when the PA unilaterally applied to join international organizations in breach of the conditions of the talks. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell so you can get notified whenever new Bible prophecy news videos are uploaded. Lastly, ADL warns of drastic increase in anti-Semitic violence in US since start of Gaza escalation. As we get to the last half of the upcoming final prophetic 70th week for Israel, they will hit what is called the time of Jacob's trouble, which will make Hitler's Holocaust look like a walk in the park. Scripture to consider. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. You will see Jewish hate grow and grow as we get to that last half, also known as the Great Tribulation, period of approximately 3.5 years. Back to the news. Since the latest bout of fighting between Israel and Palestinian terrorists in Gaza, there has been a 50% increase in anti-Semitic acts in the United States, the Anti-Defamation League, ADL, said Friday. ADL Director Jonathan Greenblatt pointed to a number of incidents in several states, including 2 incidents this week in Los Angeles, where supporters of the Palestinians attacked Jewish men sitting outside a restaurant, and also threw bottles at homes of Jews that had the traditional mezuzah parchment on their doors. We have seen a dangerous and drastic spike in anti-Semitism here at home in just the past week to 10 days, said Greenblatt. The report follows New York police opening a hate crimes probe after several people shouting anti-Semitic slurs attacked a Jewish man while pro-Israel and pro-Palestinian protesters demonstrated in Times Square. Anti-Semitism has no place in our city, tweeted New York Mayor Bill de Blasio. Jesuit-educated New York Governor Andrew Cuomo declared that they would not tolerate anti-Semitic violent gang harassment and intimidation. That is what the New York political leaders say openly, but secretly they will do the lusts of their spiritual father Satan, which hates the Jews, chiefly, because that unto them were committed the oracles of God. As it is written by the apostle to the Gentiles, Paul. Scripture to consider. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. You better be able to prove your name is in the book of life before you die. BeingJustified.com can help you while in the land of the living.